Hello again, YouTube. Jake here, and this is, as usual, reading too much into things with another review of Jyuoh and Kamen Rider Ghost. And despite last time it frying my brain, we're doing another 4-episode review. That's right, 2 episodes of both series. Let's get started with Jyuoh with episode 14, Usotsuki Dorobo Obakake, The Lying Thief is Foolish, and episode 15, Senritsu no Sniper, The Terrifying Sniper. Take it away, Toby!
Episode 14 starts with 2 new players wanting to take over as a team leader from the first player that the Jyuoh killed in the first episode, Jagged. After a game of Junkin, the thief player gets to go first instead of the old-timey safari hunting looker with the sniper rifle. Back on Earth, Amu meets a brother and sister pair. The brother, Fua, working a security job that pays poorly to save up and pay for surgery for his sister. The thief player attacks a bank, stealing a large amount of money, and is attacked by the Jyuoh, who easily overpower him. However, claiming to have a hostage, which turns out to be a fake, allows him to escape. His plan, mainly to disrupt the world's economy, is not seen as useful, and he is told to do something else, since even just stealing millions of yen at a time would take years to bankrupt the world and would be boring. While stealthing around, the player hears of Fua not only being a guard at a big event for Jewels of the 5 Great Civilizations, whatever that is, but also that his sister's surgery would cost 1 million yen, and so the player comes up with a plan. The plan being, he'd offer Fua the money he stole earlier, around 5 million yen, if he'd lure the Jyuoh to a specific room and trap them to give the player time to steal the jewels. And he does so. However, Amu convinces him to let them go, because of the usual line, "Would your sister be happy with you paying for the surgery with stolen money?" Which is likely for the best, as the player admits he wasn't going to give him money anyway. The Jyuoh engage the player. He tries to hide himself with his power, but Sailor is able to hear his footsteps, and Tusk smell him out, and they defeat him both normal and giant-sized. And so the episode ends on a bit of a sadder note, with the brother, who during the fight caught the case full of money, accepting that he needs to turn it into the cops, and there being no sign that his sister's surgery will be any time soon.
Hannah's right. This just felt weird. Yes, there is importance to point out that just doing the right thing won't reward you, but that normally is put into the context of stories of people doing the right thing for the wrong reason. Like someone having done good deeds for fame or rewards, but learning to do good for its own sake, even sacrificing one's goods for that good. Never mind the weird way it just ends with "don't give up." Not in a cheery fashion, mind you. Not in a cheery, "we know you can do it" way, but in the same way one says one day at a time. Topped off by this episode not telling us anything about the characters, and the whole thing feels really pointless. Moving on.
Episode 15 starts with Tusk angry at Leo, who hung out the laundry to dry without noticing that it'd start raining soon. Back with the dead aliens, the next player and his sniper rifle head off after showing off his skills a bit and saying he'd hunt down 1,000 targets in one day. When the Jyuoh sense the player, where they arrive they find nothing but dolls. While trying to understand what's happening, Sayla is shot and turned into a doll, And even as they know what's happening and form a plan, one after another, they get turned into dolls until there's only Leo and Tusk. Despite getting away for a while, the two eventually come out into the open and seemingly are taken out. Only it was a decoy. Leo had swapped clothes with the mannequin that Tusk tied to his back, making the sniper drop his guard, and so Leo could sneak up and steal his gun away, breaking it and turning everyone back to normal. And so the whole team engages the sniper. Defeat him, Tusk and Leo having learned to take a page from each other's book.
Didn't Magi Rangers do this kind of episode too, but to greater effect? And way later in the series? Anyways, these episodes are fillers from first to last. Granted, 15 was better than 14, as at least it also aimed to expand character relations and dynamics as opposed to the rather bleak, do the right thing message, and not even growth of characters. Anywho, let's dive into Kamen Rider Ghost. Takaru has 40 days left, with episode 31. Komyo Ganmaiser no Chikara. Strange, the power of the Ganmaiser. Of the Ganmaiser. Of the Ganmaiser. Of the Ganmaiser. Stop that. Praise time for the OP again, with the changes for Dai Job now that he's a hero. Our episode actually starts with Dai Job re-establishing that he wants to protect this world, and someday make his, cute baby! Back in the Gamma world, yep, the Ganmaiser they destroyed last time is back again, in stone form. After more perfect world nonsense, Two Feather has two other stones materialized, asking them to show him what power they possess. The lighter blue one's power seems to be to turn adults into children. Now, I was going to snark originally that, oh yeah, that will be real helpful in making a perfect world. However, when I sat down and thought about what use it could be, I sort of get why that would be a power one of them would possess, given that those in the Gamma world live for hundreds of years. Yes, the assumption is that they stay young because it's not their actual bodies. It's a projection created by the little gamma icons and their bodies stay fresh in their tubes. However, this can be seen as an expression, a literal expression of the power of the gamma icons to keep those projections immortal, or that one can stay immortal through becoming an icon. Or at least that's why I read into it. So what was the purple stone's power? The flames or the reviving itself? Back at the temple, Takaru shares that he has the power to see people's memories with the others, and think to ask Sage, who is not there. Hey, here's an idea. Try to do it on the mascot so we can see what his point is. However, instead, the mascot reminds them about the last time they tried making a wish, it mysteriously didn't work. Also, a day has passed, so now it's 39 till he's dead. Next scene at the temple, Dai Job shares what he was doing while a villain, setting up several portal sites throughout the city so that when all opened at once, it would be a large-scale invasion. They plan to take them out, but are distracted by Onari's student Shibuya, arguing with his mother over the phone. They head out in teams to take out the gates, each one guarded by a group of Gruntmas. After Takaru clears out his gate, his team, with Onari and his students, decide to go out for ramen. But Shibuya is not a fan of ramen, and Takaru gets a look at his rather gruff mother, who likely doesn't care if he wants to take over the store or not, but is annoyed at him being wishy-washy on Aka's ideas of manliness. Shibuya does not take Takaru giving him family advice all that well. We cut to a park where said mother is leaving flowers, likely for her dead husband, Tetsuya. But then, she is childized as well. Not helping is no one turned into a child has their old memories. Back in the Ganma world, we get a look, I guess, at the other Ganmeiser's power, sort of, before cutting to Igor establishing again how well things are going now that no one thinks Deep Connect is evil, before Igor heads out to watch the fun. Seems the Ganmeiser's power was a kind of energy pulse that opened the gate before the team could get there. Spectre's Deep icon does not like this at all, and so, as Deep, he blows up the gate. Before Spectre can wonder why he saw the abyss of souls in the Ganma world, Akari gets a call from Kanon at the temple, which Takaru also got because she knows the Condor's phone number, I guess. Just as Akari leaves, Spectre and Daijob are approached by Shibuya's mother as a child, panicking over her house now being a ramen shop, and her mom and dad not being around. Back at the temple, we see the mess Kanon meant, as, for some reason, all the children have come to hang out at the temple, with the very old principal, retired but knowing everyone in town, confirming that the kids were adults until this morning. Back with the kid mom, Daijob thinks the gate is the reason the child feels everything has changed, neither of them knowing she was de-aged, taking on a group of Grutmas. Then back with the principal, he gets de-aged as well. Realizing what's happening and seeing his mom run by, Shibuya gives chase. Back at the temple, guess who's not dead? The assistant who knew what he, Mystery Hat, and Takaru's father were doing 10 years ago, and back with Shibuya, smart enough to know the plot, is still dumb enough to think he can get his mother to remember him despite her being in a state before she had him as a child. We cut back to the temple to establish for the doctor that Kanon, who he last saw get dragged into the Ganma world 10 years ago, is not dead. What was really annoying about this for me is back when he was part of the plot and was attacked, they sent the actor off with flowers, which is normally a sign that the character's last scene was just shown. A kind of send-off to confirm the character's death. Now he's back. At least that's what I remember reading. Back with Spectre and Daijob, Child Mom runs back to them, having run from Shibuya, only to be chased by the whole gang now. So I guess today is a policeman's holiday or something? Maybe all of them were DH too. When Takaru catches her, we get her memories of starting trouble with several older delinquents, only to be saved by another in parachute pants. Before more memories can be explored, the gang are attacked by Daijob's old martial arts instructor and Javert's replacement, Jyuoh. And, unlike Javert and Igor, I cannot actually find if Jyuoh, spelled Jairo, is a reference to either history or a book character. Lest he's an out-of-nowhere reference to Gyro, spelled Gyro, Zappelli from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 Steel Ball Run. The most I could find through Google Foo were a lot of soccer players named Gyro. Also, the Japanese institutional repositories online. Before moving on, he is also played by Mr. Kamen Rider himself, the suit actor of all the lead writers from Agito to Ghost, excluding Hibiki, Seiji Takaiwa. Seiji Takaiwa. I am good with Japanese names, and that's why I'm reviewing a Japanese show. And to top things off, he's equipped with an Ultima icon. Guess those are mass-produced now? The three hero riders, with Ghost Suit as Seiji, take on Ultima, whose out-of-suit actor is Seiji. However, since the Ultima Icon can still cheat by reversing time, the fight does not go well, forcing them to escape while deflecting an explosion. And so, episode 31 ends back at the temple, with Takeru meeting the assistant again, and getting dragged into the memories of the office's past, with the assistant, Mystery Hat, Pre-Hat, Sage the Sage, and his father. Actually, here's another thought as to the Gunmeister's powers. Writing-wise, it may in fact be related to the 15 icons, or vice versa. I'm not saying any of them have the power to turn people into children. However, the light blue icon, the counterpoint to the light blue Gunmeister that made everyone young, is the child pharaoh King Tutankhamun. Which, yeah, the other Gunmeister that was brought down was blue and it could send out a gravity pulse. And what's the blue icon we have? Newton, whose powers is gravity. I'm sure in the story the icons are set to counter the powers of the Gunmeister, but it's starting to feel more like when they sat down to write this, that the Gunmeister's powers are meant to link to the icons they chose. Anywho, let's continue onward with episode 32. Suyoku. Himeta Kokoro. Recollections. Hidden Heart. We jump right in at the memory. Takeru's father expositing that they're together to stop the Gamma Emperor from taking over our world. Their invasion being planned for 10 years from this memory. Also, Shibuya's mom sneaks out. Back in the memory, I can slightly confirm about my Gunmeister theory, that they plan to use the 15 luminaries as the counter to the 15 indestructible Gunmeisters. We also see that Takeru's dad can make icons without destroying the artifacts, or at least can summon the ghosts without doing so. Back in the now, Shibuya realizes his mother is missing. But what's worse, Onari realizes that the adults, are still de-aging. Also, from all this talk about the unlimited potential of Takeru for 10 years from the memory, I'm starting to think they plan to kill him to make him a ghost.
I think this is getting needlessly messianic.
Back in the now, the mom is back at the park, as is Shibuya, who knows she's there waiting for her Prince of Justice. Being stupid enough to talk about what hasn't happened in her mind yet, causing child mom to run away. But Shibuya is attacked by a group of Gruntmas. Shibuya's scream brings Daijob in. Back in the memory, they show Mystery Hat trapping Canon Inspector in the Gamma world. Then how the hell did they think that Takeru's father did and not him? He was standing right there. We just pan over. Ugh. And Mystery Hat takes a very evil-looking henshin belt, seeming to side with the Ganmas. How'd he escape? Sometime later, after Takeru's father's death, Mystery Hat came for the assistant here as well, leaving him to run for his life. To add to the chaos, they are shown the rapidly de-aging children, and told that Shibuya and his mom are not back yet. Do we ever learn her name? And so, Takeru heads out, closely followed by the King Tutankhamun icon. The temple team assumes that the source of this de-aging is coming from a gate with a powerful guard, and head out to destroy it. Shibuya heads, of course, to the ramen shop, but cannot find his mother sleeping/hiding under a table. Takeru soon arriving too. He hears out Shibuya's story of his graduating high school, being told to speak up like a man, him running away, and being told to not come back till he's a man, leading Shibuya to go to the temple for 3 years. Then, After telling Shibuya that a real man can answer the feelings of a parent who, inside, will always miss their child, Kid Mom wakes up and runs away again. Back with Spectre and Daijob, they prepare to destroy the gate, and are greeted by Jyuoh. While fighting, they confirm that the de-aging plasma, as they call it, is coming out of this gate. Also confirming that it's reversing time as a building is hit and it's shrunk, made smaller, more old-fashioned? I don't know. Point is, Akari attempts to collect a sample of the plasma, and is almost hit by it, but is blocked by Spectre, before he zips back off to fight again. Takeru and the others find the Kid Mom only to be attacked by more Gruntmas, left, right, and center. When cornered, Shibuya recalls Takeru's advice and rushes off to fight the Grunt Ganmas. It does not go well, since he is not a warrior monk. However, since he is a wimp but still fighting despite his fears, it does get his Kid Mom to call him a man among men. He's able to hold out long enough for Takeru to finish his fight and come back to help. Akari is able to hit some of the de-aging plasma with her glitter shot and collect the rock samples from it. Back against Jyuoh, ooh, yeah, not going too well. Once Daijob's knocked out of his Necrom, Jyuoh prepares for a finisher, which Spectre counters with a new skill for Deep, Enraged Spectre, allowing him to fly through both Jyuoh, don't know if it kills him, and the gate, blowing it up so hard it set off an alarm in the Gamma world. However, doing so had not re-aged the adults. Worrying, Takeru is dragged into Tutankhamun Icon, solely for him to say, because of his dying at a young age, that he'll help Takeru. And so, together, they both launch energy pyramids into the sky, which combine into a larger one, break apart into tiny pyramids, land on the de-aged, and return them to normal. Shibuya, despite her not remembering what happened, because of course not, is still more than happy that his mom is back to normal, embarrassing her with his affection. See, Takeru glimpses the truth. Shibuya claimed the ramen shop was because his parents' first date was at a ramen place. But really, it was him saying he liked her ramen so much as a child. That's kinda sweet. Oh, and we get the first mention of Takeru's mom as a ghost voice. And so, completely impressed with how reckless they are, our show ends with Assistant giving Akari notes they had taken down 10 years ago, which would help her decipher the important rock. What a heartwarming little couple of episodes. Why is this the first time we're getting any mention of Takeru's mom? Yeah, I know Kamen Riders, her shows are often more focused towards boys and to fulfill the hero's journey fantasy of Kamen Rider shows that would appeal to boys. Parents in general tend to be left out of it, to the point where to have a parental-like figure, they usually hoist that on an older sibling or even the main rider living either by himself or with a wholly different family. But it becomes particularly annoying when there's so much focus on a father or father figure and there's no mention of a mother. Especially here in Kamen Rider Ghost, where there's so much focus on Takeru being or surpassing or wanting to please his father that becomes the plot point for one of his upgraded forms. And now 31 episodes in, 32 rather, we get the first reference to possibly Takeru's mom in the form of her voice. Anyways, thanks for joining us here again for reading too much into things. Between now and the end of the month, I should have a rundown video for the upcoming animes for the coming summer season as those start airing early July. As I once again change the format of which animes I mention in the list and which I don't, because it's complex. And once July comes around, again remember to follow me on Twitter, that's at R2TMIT, as I get myself to watch the first episode of most to nearly all of the new animes. New seasons of animes I do not currently follow, not included. And tweet my first impressions of them. I'm Jake, this is Reading Too Much Into Things, and as always, stay safe.